if you can lie beautifully, you might just become a great advertiser. Guys, if you can flirt well, you might just become a great advertiser. A lot of advertising is flirting, yeah. It's really asking somebody out. So it's a distraction, right? You're entering somebody's world for a brief moment. It's like really sending a girl a drink in a bar or generally asking somebody out. You better be doing a decent job of it. So that's, if you can lie well and be charming about it, nothing like it. Yeah. So work on your flirting, work on your lying. It really matters in advertising. Nobody tells you this. Not in classrooms, not in libraries. Uh, I used to suck at lying. Like, I'll tell you a small story. I'd gone on a small trip to Goa, and in MTV. This was when I was in television, more or less a similar circus, slightly bigger circus. Uh, and I didn't want to show up at work. I wanted to go to Goa to drink with friends. So I made up a lie to my boss and said I have a very important wedding of a cousin who I invented, and I have to go to Pune. And he said, "Sure, man, go to Pune, and but be available on your phone." I said, "Of course, I'll be available on the phone." And he happened to call, and I was not even available to myself. I was that drunk, so forget the phone. And the lady, it was not reachable, and she spoke Konkani. That lady who says XYZ is not currently reachable. And by the time I came back, my lie had sort of, I've been exposed, because he said, I thought your marriage was in Pune. I said, of course I was in Pune. Do you know that? I started lying more about Pune. I don't know why. And he said, of course, everyone speaks Konkani in Pune too. I said, oh shit, man. Yeah, this is it. So, and as you go along, I have colleagues, I have writers who report into me. You need to really make sure your lie is foolproof. Yeah, you can't say I'm sick and be posting Instagram lunches. You forget that your boss is on Facebook, on Instagram, following you on Twitter, and so these days lying has become that much more difficult. Hence, you need to be that much more sharper. Yeah, so that's one more thing. One thing I hate about advertising, and I also love about it, is because it's so easy. Advertising is all about tapping into people's insecurities. Yeah, there's nothing else you need to do. Find out what I'm insecure about and sell a product to me about that. You're in. I'll buy it. Yeah, I'm darker, I'm shorter, anything. And now we've gone to reproductive organs with it. Yeah, we've really, advertising has reached bizarre levels. We've come up with products which make you go, why do I even need this? I mean, I didn't even know I needed. Think of any product, and sometimes it's born out of need, but there are things that advertising has just come up with. A diamond is forever. Nonsense. A diamond has the least resale value. De Beers just came up with this marketing campaign that just made the diamond the diamond. And now we think, oh shit, half a 2 months salary is worth a diamond. A diamond is worth nothing. It's just marketing. Deodorants. There was no concept of body odor till as late as 80s. Ask your mum, dad. Maybe some talcum powder. If you sweat a lot, you rinse your banyan and dry it again. There was no... advertising gave society a new insecurity, saying, you smell bad, buddy. You need to do this. Okay, then. I invented an insecurity, and I made you buy into it and then buy my product. There are several. Shaving, especially for women. There's no concept of waxing / shaving your, today I can't imagine a girl, or girls can't imagine themselves with hair on their legs or in their armpits, right? This was a norm. There was no such thing. I didn't have to be waxy and shiny like a basketball court, I could be a normal human being and still date or still aspire to be with somebody. Now you cannot. And blame advertising. So as advertisers, you are also going to need to, and I personally dislike this, but I'm doing it anyway. You also need to be able to identify the next insecurity. If you cannot identify it, just invent it. Invent the next insecurity. There will always be one product. Actually, it's the other way around. The guys who come up with the products will invent that insecurity, like health. Those granola bars. Nonsense, yaar. So you take that granola bar, the biggest insecurity in the world, no, do I look fat? Everyone has that question. Everyone, size 0 people have that question. Aaj main moti lag rahi hu kya? Take that, use health as an insecurity and sell your products, granola bars. And then, so if you see the, what do you call it, the graph, take a central truth about granola bars, that they're healthy and made of some nutritious stuff, and then lie about it, about health and how crunchy it is, how sweet it is, how the peanuts have come from Macedonia, how the jaggery is handpicked in some other nonsensical country, how it has all come together in a factory probably in Koperkhane, but they're not going to tell you that. And they're going to make you buy it for 120 rupees, right? So, if you can sort of marry all these things, no, you might just have a very bright career in advertising. All this said, uh, so this is that part of it. Now the life in advertising, it's intense amount of hard work. If you're not cut out for genuine hard work, no, like contract labor, it's hardcore hard work. Like it's ridiculous how many hours you're gonna spend in front of a machine. You'll be Facebooking a lot, but at the same time you'll be working really hard and on things that you seldom like. Yeah, a lot of your life is going to be spent waiting either for the client's approval or your boss's approval, somebody's approval. Yeah, you, so if you don't have patience, start growing it today. Advertising is a lot about patience. It looks like a quick young industry. It's not. It's really about a lot of waiting. You're just sitting there, and it's a simple leaflet that has to be handed out at stations. I used to think it's not that important. I've written it, why are they sort of. But a lot of people had to approve it, like all the way to the top, till the poor copywriter sitting in the agency could go home. So I used to be in the agencies till 2 o'clock sometimes, just waiting for an approval on work that I'm not really proud of. It's not like I'm going to retain that leaflet and show it to my grandchild saying, मैंने ये लिखा है and this is it. You should aspire to do this. So, a lot of patience and a lot of hard work. You need to sort of stick it out. Yeah, it's a very, it's almost borderline dirty, but as somebody has said, it's the most fun you can have with your clothes on. And that, my friend, is true. I mean, it's ridiculous how much fun you can have in advertising. Anything can be called work. A simple prank of putting somebody in a carton full of bubble wrap is also work somehow. And you get to do all this in advertising and get paid for it. Coming to the payments, I don't know, a lot of you start or enter advertising thinking you're gonna get X amount of money, you'll be paid, or advertising pays really well. It pays really well when you've sort of given your youth to it. Yeah, it takes a lot back also. In the beginning, I don't know too many agencies that pay more than say 16 or 14,000 to a starter. Yeah, so and that's very little money to earn for working 14 hours a day, all maybe 7 days a week sometimes if you're on big brands, or five days a week if you're on smaller ones. The first 5 years are really, really, really tricky and difficult. Most of the people drop out at that time. I did. I dropped out of advertising in 8 months. I couldn't take it. I went into television. I lasted there for around 3.5 years. I wrote a couple of books while in television, and but after going the full circle, I realized I still like advertising somewhere. So I've come back to web chutney and digital advertising, which I've realized is like an item number. Yeah, digital advertising is the item number. So if mainline advertising is the main plot, digital advertising these days, brands want something on digital. मुझको viral बना दो. So make me go viral is the make my logo bigger. New make my logo bigger. Everyone wants to go viral. It can be irrespective of the campaign. It's really like an item number. So it's the Munni Badnaam in. So the item number sometimes has nothing to do with the plot of the story, right? That's a lot of times that's digital advertising. Saurabh here is going to spank me later, and he's going to contradict everything I said. But that's how our relationship has grown. We just hate each other and contradict each other. But an item. So yeah, if digital advertising has lesser money, currently smaller scope, though I think the scope is tremendous. The brands think they just want to go viral, whatever that means. It's treated like that's random item number ki dal do, bas put it in and run with it. Digital advertising pays even lesser than mainline advertising does. Mainline advertising is your traditional media, as I'm sure you know. Digital advertising is really People think it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. There's a lot more to it. There's search engine optimizations, and there's paid, lots of little things that I don't think most colleges are teaching, which I think they should, but that's a different debate. Try and start reading up about that. See if you want to do digital advertising, as because now it's a plausible real option. You can skip your O&M, low, FCB, Ulka, everything. You need not ever write a television ad or a hoarding or a press ad or a magazine ad. You can straight cut to the chase. Most of you, I'm sure, are digital savvy. All of your Facebook accounts, you spend a lot of time online. Unlike like I'm 30 today, we are the cusp generation. Internet sort of came in around, like really came in around when I was in college. Phones, I got a phone only in the last year of my college, almost second last year. So we are the generation which sort of did the traditional stuff, and we are equally doing the digital stuff. We are the cusps. You guys have just come into a world where it was a norm. Like a student of mine once told me, if you're not on Facebook, you don't exist. I mean, how can you exist? You're not on Facebook. And they were shocked. They were really shocked, saying, how can you deactivate your account? How are you even alive today? So you're born into a world where this already existed. When I was in college, nobody gave two hoots about what I was thinking. Feeling lonely on Marine Drive, nobody's hitting like on that. Nobody cared. My loneliness and my happiness was my own. Today, it's become a much flatter, and everyone's a creator. Everyone's a publisher. So, as publishers and creators, it's made advertising that much more interesting. My time is almost up. So, I'll take questions now.
I'm sorry, actually, Omkar, we're a bit over time.
Oh, no questions. Thank you very much.